What if the greatest obstacles to your happiness aren't external forces, but internal barriers you've built yourself? Imagine for a moment being free from the weight of hate, the endless cycle of comparison, and the paralyzing grip of worry. Imagine living a life where these emotional chains no longer drag you down, where your happiness isn't dependent on others or on circumstances beyond your control. This may sound like an ideal, but it's not just a dream, it's a possibility. The ancient Stoics, with their profound wisdom, believed that true happiness lies not in accumulating more, but in letting go of what weighs us down. In this video, we're going to unlock the 3 Stoic keys to happiness: releasing hate, comparison, and worry. These ancient principles can guide us to a more peaceful, contented life, and today we're diving deep into how you can apply them. Section 1. Release hate. Introduction to hate. Hate is one of the most corrosive emotions we can harbor. It consumes our thoughts, distorts our perceptions, and damages our relationships. Imagine someone who is constantly angry at a former friend or colleague. This person might think about the betrayal or slight they experienced every day, allowing that hatred to fester and grow. Over time, this anger becomes a part of their daily life, affecting their mood, their interactions with others, and their overall sense of well-being. This constant state of hostility doesn't just hurt the person they're angry with, it harms them as well. Stoic wisdom on hate. The Stoics understood that hate, like all negative emotions, is ultimately self-destructive. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, spoke extensively about the damaging effects of anger and hatred. He said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Seneca believed that taking a step back and allowing time to pass can help diffuse the intensity of anger, allowing for more rational thinking and less destructive behavior. Marcus Aurelius, another key Stoic figure, also addressed the issue of hate in his writings. In his meditations, he reflected on how hatred only harms the person who harbors it. He wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This perspective shifts the focus from seeking retribution to improving oneself. By striving to be better, we avoid being dragged down by the negativity of hate. Practical Stoic techniques. To release hate, Stoics practiced understanding and empathy. Instead of focusing on the wrongs done to them, they sought to understand the motivations and circumstances of others. By viewing others' actions through a lens of empathy, they were able to detach from personal grievances and reduce the emotional burden of hate. Another effective Stoic practice is forgiveness. Marcus Aurelius advised embracing forgiveness as a way to free oneself from the shackles of anger. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning wrong actions. It means choosing to release the negative emotions associated with those actions. It's a way to reclaim your own peace of mind. Actionable steps. To apply these Stoic teachings in your own life, start with self-reflection. Identify someone towards whom you hold resentment. Write down the reasons for your anger, and then challenge yourself to understand their perspective. Ask yourself, what might have led them to act in this way? What can I learn from this situation? By understanding the context and motivations behind their actions, you can begin to release the hold that hatred has on you. Additionally, practice forgiveness regularly. This doesn't mean you have to forget or tolerate mistreatment, but rather that you choose not to let it consume you. When you find yourself dwelling on negative emotions towards someone, consciously redirect your focus to more positive or neutral thoughts. This practice will gradually diminish the power of hate in your life. Section 2. Release comparison. Introduction to comparison. Comparison is another major hurdle to happiness. We live in a world obsessed with measuring success against others, whether it's through social media, professional achievements, or personal milestones. Imagine someone who constantly compares their life to the seemingly perfect lives of others they see online. This comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and dissatisfaction. Instead of appreciating their own accomplishments and progress, they become fixated on what others have and what they lack. Stoic wisdom on comparison. The Stoics warned against the dangers of comparison. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, believed that focusing on our own path, rather than comparing ourselves to others, is crucial for personal contentment. He said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Epictetus emphasized that true satisfaction comes from living according to your own principles and values, rather than measuring your worth against others. The Stoic concept of autarkia, or self-sufficiency, is particularly relevant here. Autarkia refers to the ability to be content with oneself and one's own achievements, regardless of external validation. By focusing on self-improvement and personal growth, rather than external comparisons, you cultivate a deeper sense of fulfillment and inner peace. Practical Stoic techniques. To release the habit of comparison, start by setting personal goals based on your own values and aspirations, not on what others are doing. Reflect on your unique strengths and achievements and appreciate the progress you've made. Practicing gratitude is also a powerful technique. By regularly acknowledging and appreciating what you have rather than what you lack compared to others, you shift your focus from envy to contentment. Create a daily habit of listing things you're grateful for, which can help to cultivate a more positive and fulfilled mindset. Actionable steps. Begin by journaling about your personal goals and values. What do you truly care about? What achievements are important to you? Write down your progress and celebrate your successes, no matter how small. By focusing on your own journey and milestones, you can reduce the urge to compare yourself to others. Incorporate a gratitude practice into your daily routine. Each day, take a few minutes to list things you're thankful for. This practice will help shift your focus from what others have to what you have, fostering a sense of contentment and reducing the negative effects of comparison. Section 3. Release worry. Introduction to worry. Worry is another major barrier to happiness. It's easy to become consumed by concerns about the future, whether they involve personal life, career, or global issues. Picture someone who is constantly anxious about potential problems, unable to enjoy the present because they're preoccupied with hypothetical scenarios. This state of constant worry not only diminishes current happiness, but also impairs decision-making and overall well-being. Stoic wisdom on worry. The Stoics had a clear perspective on worry, rooted in the principle of the dichotomy of control. According to Epictetus, we should focus only on what is within our control and accept what we cannot change. He famously stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This philosophy encourages us to direct our energy toward actions we can control and to let go of concerns about things beyond our influence. Another key Stoic practice is mindfulness and present focus. By anchoring yourself in the present moment, you can reduce the impact of worry about the future. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often reminded himself to stay grounded in the present and not to be overwhelmed by future uncertainties. Practical Stoic techniques. To manage worry, practice mindfulness to stay focused on the present. Techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or simple mindful awareness can help ground you in the here and now. Additionally, create a plan of action for concerns that are within your control. If you find yourself worrying about a specific issue, break it down into actionable steps. Address what you can and let go of what remains outside your control. Actionable steps. To effectively implement Stoic principles and address the barriers of hate, comparison, and worry in your life, start with a comprehensive self-reflection. Begin by delving into your emotions and identifying the sources of hate you might be harboring. This involves acknowledging the individuals or situations that have caused you pain or resentment. Consider how these feelings of animosity are impacting your daily life, relationships, and overall well-being. Understanding the depth of how hate affects you is crucial in recognizing why it's important to let go. Once you've identified these sources, shift your focus to empathy and understanding. Empathy doesn't mean you have to condone or excuse the actions that hurt you, but rather it's about trying to understand the other person's perspective. Picture the circumstances that may have led to their behavior. Reflect on the potential challenges or pressures they might be facing. Writing a letter to the person you feel wronged by, even if you don't send it, can be a therapeutic exercise. It helps you process your feelings and facilitates the journey towards forgiveness. Forgiveness, a central aspect of Stoic philosophy, is vital for releasing hate. It's important to recognize that holding on to resentment only perpetuates your own suffering. Forgiveness involves making a conscious choice to let go of anger and move forward, focusing on what's best for your own peace of mind, rather than dwelling on past grievances. Redirecting your energy towards positive activities and constructive relationships can further help in moving past hatred and cultivating a more positive emotional state. When it comes to comparison, begin by identifying what triggers your urge to measure yourself against others. These triggers could be social media, professional settings, or social interactions. Once you pinpoint these triggers, focus on setting personal goals that align with your values and aspirations, rather than external benchmarks. This might involve clarifying what success means to you, independent of societal or peer expectations. Reflect on your own strengths and achievements and appreciate the progress you've made on your unique journey. A practical approach to reducing the negative impact of comparison is to cultivate a daily gratitude practice. By acknowledging and appreciating what you have, you shift your focus from what others possess to what is meaningful and positive in your own life. Keeping a gratitude journal where you write down things you are thankful for each day can help reinforce a sense of contentment. Celebrating your own achievements and milestones, no matter how small, encourages a positive mindset and reduces the tendency to compare yourself unfavorably with others. Engaging in self-reflection to understand your own strengths and qualities can also help build self-esteem and reduce feelings of inadequacy. Consider creating a personal assessment that highlights your skills, accomplishments, and attributes. This self-recognition reinforces your value and reduces the impact of external comparisons. Additionally, if certain environments or social media interactions fuel your comparison anxiety, consider limiting your exposure to these triggers. Setting boundaries for social media use or avoiding settings that foster unhealthy comparisons can be beneficial. Regarding worry, start by acknowledging and prioritizing your concerns. List the things that cause you anxiety and categorize them based on their significance and the level of control you have over them. This process helps you focus on what you can address immediately and accept what is beyond your control. Practicing mindfulness can be particularly effective in managing worry. Set aside time each day for mindfulness exercises, such as deep breathing or meditation, to anchor yourself in the present moment. This practice can help diminish the impact of future uncertainties and reduce overall anxiety. The Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control is crucial here. Assess each worry to determine whether it falls within your control or not. For worries you can influence, Create a structured plan to address them and take proactive steps. For those beyond your control, practice acceptance. Remind yourself that excessive worry won't change the outcome and that focusing on actionable steps can alleviate some of the anxiety. By incorporating these Stoic principles into your daily routine, you can cultivate a greater sense of inner peace and happiness. Reflecting on your sources of hate, practicing empathy and forgiveness, setting personal goals, cultivating gratitude, and applying mindfulness and the dichotomy of control are powerful tools for overcoming the barriers that hinder your happiness. Embracing these practices can lead to a more balanced, fulfilling life, free from the negative impact of hate, comparison, and worry. Let's revisit the 3 Stoic keys to happiness: releasing hate, comparison, and worry. By applying these principles, you can free yourself from the emotional chains that hold you back from true contentment. First, releasing hate allows you to let go of destructive emotions that only harm you. Through empathy and forgiveness, you reclaim your peace and move forward without the burden of resentment. Second, releasing comparison shifts your focus from measuring your worth against others to appreciating your own unique path and progress. By cultivating self-sufficiency and gratitude, you enhance your contentment and personal satisfaction. Third, releasing worry empowers you to focus on what you can control while letting go of anxieties about the future. Through mindfulness and practical planning, you create a more peaceful and manageable approach to life's uncertainties. These Stoic practices are not just ancient wisdom, but practical tools for modern living. As you integrate these principles into your daily life, you'll find yourself more at ease, more content, and more connected to your true sense of happiness. So, take these keys and apply them in your life. Reflect on the areas where you hold hate, compare yourself to others, or worry excessively. Start with small, actionable steps to release these barriers and open yourself up to a more fulfilling and peaceful existence. Share your experiences in the comments and let us know how these Stoic keys are helping you unlock a happier life.